What if the person who terrifies you the most is also the one who sees you the clearest? Today's review is all about Brimstone by Callie Hart, a dark, emotionally charged romance that pulls you into a world of danger, obsession, and unexpected vulnerability. And if you're someone who loves intense chemistry, morally gray characters, and stories that linger long after the final chapter, you're going to want to hear this one through to the end. Let's dive in. Brimstone is not your typical love story. It's a dark romance that blends suspense, emotional tension, and slow-burning attraction into a gripping narrative that feels cinematic in scope, yet deeply personal at heart. Without giving away any spoilers, the story follows two complex individuals whose paths collide in a way that is both dangerous and undeniably magnetic. Their connection is layered, intense, and built on secrets, survival, and emotional scars that slowly unravel as the story progresses. What makes this book stand out is the atmosphere. It's moody, immersive, and unapologetically bold. From the very first chapters, you're pulled into a world where trust is fragile, power dynamics are sharp, and every interaction crackles with tension. Now, what will you actually gain from listening to this audiobook? First, you'll experience how dark romance can explore vulnerability beneath strength. The characters are not perfect, and that's exactly the point. You'll witness emotional growth, inner conflict, and the way trauma and desire can coexist in compelling ways. Second, the story teaches patience in storytelling. This isn't an instant love narrative. It's layered, slow, and psychologically engaging, rewarding listeners who enjoy emotional depth over surface-level romance. And third, you'll see how tension can be built through dialogue, silence, and emotional stakes, rather than just dramatic plot twists. That's where this book truly shines. Let's talk strengths. One of the biggest strengths is the character chemistry. It feels raw, believable, and intensely addictive. The emotional push and pull between the leads keeps you invested chapter after chapter. Another major strength is the writing style. Callie Hart's prose is vivid without being overwhelming, and it translates beautifully into audio format. The pacing is deliberate, allowing tension to simmer instead of rushing the emotional payoff. And honestly, the atmosphere deserves special mention. The darker tone, the emotional stakes, and the immersive world building make it perfect for audiobook listening, especially if you enjoy stories that feel cinematic and emotionally charged rather than predictable. Now, no honest review is complete without the weaknesses. This is a darker romance, which means it's not a light or fluffy listen. Some moments are intense, emotionally heavy, and psychologically complex. If you're expecting a sweet, feel-good romance, this might feel heavier than anticipated. Also, the pacing, while intentional, may feel slow to listeners who prefer fast-moving plots. The story focuses more on emotional development than constant action, and that can be a hit or miss depending on your taste. So, who is this audiobook perfect for? It's ideal for listeners who love dark romance, morally gray heroes, intense emotional tension, and slow-burn relationships that evolve over time. If you enjoyed intense, character-driven romances with a touch of danger and depth, this will likely be right up your alley. It's also perfect for audiobook fans who enjoy immersive narration and stories that feel atmospheric and emotionally gripping rather than predictable. Who should skip it? If you prefer lighthearted rom-coms, fast-paced plots, or low-conflict romances, this may not be the best fit. And if you're sensitive to darker emotional themes, it's worth checking content notes before diving in. This story doesn't shy away from intensity. Overall, Brimstone is a bold, emotionally rich dark romance that rewards patience and emotional investment. It's the kind of audiobook that pulls you in quietly and then refuses to let go. If you're ready for a romance that's intense, layered, and deeply atmospheric, I highly recommend giving the full audiobook a listen. You can find the audiobook through the link in the description. It's a great way to experience the tension, emotion, and storytelling exactly as it was meant to be felt. And if you enjoy thoughtful romance reviews and audiobook recommendations like this one, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next deep dive into stories worth listening to.